Hey guys, not while I'm recording this, but when this video posts out today for you guys, is my third anniversary, or the third anniversary of the first two videos that I posted on this channel, both of which were shot in a very, very shitty phone camera. Maybe a few days before my girlfriend at the time, who is now my wife, bought me the camera, the video camera that I would use for all my videos. The one that I am still using as I talk right now. The one that you guys are, what is it? The perspective that you're seeing is the camera. I don't know what the hell that was, but anyway, just that moment really gave me the courage to do what I didn't think I could do, or at least what I didn't think I had the courage to do, which was to start a YouTube channel where I tackled the thing that I love most, which is just talking about movies as both a film fan and a film critic. I still think that maybe I'm a better film fan than I am a critic, but I'm still doing my best on that front. I'd like to be a mix of both. But I've definitely... I have no idea what the hell that was. I've definitely come very far, and I've tried many different things, some that didn't work out for me and some that I'd love to do in the future, but I won't have time to really commit because they take time to prepare. And those of you who know what I do for a living know that I tend to have very little time to devote, the time to things like editorials or even Last Week in Cinema, that very short-lived show, I guess you can call it a show, where I would just get to the end of the weekend and I would just talk about what happened in the world of movies and entertainment, just the movie news the prior week. Again, I'd love to do that in the future, but it's probably going to be a while until I can get to that point. But as I improve on my craft and my editing and my writing, because I will admit with the writing, because I suck at improv. I've already improv'd like twice during this thing, and you can probably tell which parts are improv. Hell, this is improv right now. Me just rambling about nothing. But I also strive to just to battle my own personal demons that keep me from posting videos regularly. If work gets in the way of stuff, then it does. It happens, and I can't necessarily control that with what I do for a living. And I don't know. But there are those times where I have the time, and I definitely have the energy to do something to further progress in this space with this channel. There are those times where my personal demons surface, and then my main they just become the main focus on my mind. And those of you who've been with me for a while, you know that there have been many times where I will go long, extended periods where I will not post anything. I think the longest I've gone is maybe half a year, maybe a little bit longer, all because I was in a dark place in my life mentally, and I just wanted to distract myself by doing things that I can easily do in a lazy way, and curating... the fuck? Anyway, sorry, the flickering light threw me off, but where was I? Yeah, curating this channel and my own content is not something that I can just be lazy with. Everything on this channel takes a tremendous amount of effort and time just for me to do one video. My average time for crafting one review is about 5 hours, and that includes filming, filming the first part where I talk about my anticipation going into a movie, coming back, making the scripts for my videos, figuring out what I want to put in the video, filming the review itself, then editing, then publishing, creating the thumbnail, and then putting on the final touches before actually scheduling when the video will upload, because as many of you remember, I'm in South Korea right now. So what I do is I just schedule it based off of like a good time in the US, like maybe 12 in the afternoon, Pacific Standard Time, just basically based off of where I was located earlier in the past few months. It's easier for me to do it that way, but it's a lot of work for just one video, and I mean, you know, and if I'm going through a bout of depression, then I will just lounge around and play video games until I either feel better or I just get to the point where I'm not actively thinking about my depression. But of course, as always, I promise you guys that I will continue to fight my internal battles and get more content out there, because it sucks whenever I'm there are so many things that I need to do with the channel. Hell, what is it? I've already missed a couple of films this year. I still need to start working on my on the videos for the Oscar nominees, as far as the Best Picture nominees for this year. I still need to work on every single one that I haven't done, and on top of that, I've got a bunch of videos that are technically, like, I'm ready to film them for movies that I need to catch up with for last year, and then on top of that, I've got more that I still need to actually, like, just even get into the planning phase for movies that I've already seen. There's a lot of stuff that I need to do, and, you know, I'm putting a lot of pressure on myself, if I'm being honest. And just to throw this out there, for those of you who've been with me since the beginning, or maybe you just joined or whatever, I want to thank all of you who've watched any of my videos, and especially thanks to the subscribers. I know many people don't just subscribe to any channel, so every time I see a notification in my feed that my subscriber count has increased, I feel so reinvigorated, and it just reminds me that I'm creating content that people enjoy, and I can only really strive to make more content that I can be proud of, and that will speak to you guys and future subscribers. So to all of you, thank you for everything, and I look forward to the future and all the things ahead and whatever else can come out of this brain. And speaking of new things, I have a bit of an update. Even when I started the channel as a purely movie review channel, I've always strived to make this about more than just movie reviews. I want to get into many different things as well, but the channel would primarily be movie related, movie news, film editorials, stuff like that, but also to get into things like maybe video game reviews, if I can improve my knowledge on how that stuff works, video game discussions, maybe some Let's Plays in the future. I'd love to do something along those lines. And I'm going to do something new for the channel that's surprisingly not tied to any of those things, and please humor me, this is going to be a long story. So every once in a while in some of my videos, I've mentioned that music and musical performance is something that means a lot to me. I began singing when, excuse me, when I was a young child, like a toddler, and I didn't really do anything productive with my singing abilities until high school, when I joined my high school choir. Freshman year, I was just in the men's choir, and they would every once in a while join up with the beginner women's choir for our recitals. And while I enjoyed the experience I had, I was one of those kids that naturally didn't fit in anywhere and naturally didn't have a drive. Hell, I still don't have a drive to this day. I've just gotten better at either hiding it or just finding things to supplant the fact that I don't have a natural drive. Anyway, so I just skated through life, not really paying attention to anything, something that's actually led to me not being able to remember much of my childhood and teenage years, whether it was in detail or not at all. So I was honestly contemplating on not returning to choir for the sophomore year. Well, my teacher, Mrs. Dumas, was holding tryouts that everyone had to go through, or at least, you know, she wanted everybody to go through, so she kind of made it mandatory, where it was just, it was an audition for the advanced mixed / co-ed choir, and she was especially putting in freshmen, and again, I was a freshman. So, even though I didn't really do good in it, and I don't remember the exact reason why, it was probably because I wasn't confident in myself at that point, but for some reason, she said she was putting me in the class after the summer, and I don't remember what I said earlier, and I don't remember what she said, but, you know, she let me in, and when I came back sophomore year, I really came into my own. I wanted to make sure that I wanted to prove to her that she didn't misplace her trust in me. And like I said, I came into my own, and it would show from then all the way to my graduation day. I had poured a total of 17 semesters into choir over 4 years, beginning, or not beginning, but being in 3 choir classes in one semester, including the men's choir, the advanced mixed. I also did a solo performance class, and a pure music theory class. I performed in multiple concerts outside of our own, like District Honor Choir, which was a really big deal. I don't know, I'll be honest, I have no idea how the states do it. I'm pretty sure every single state has like a District Honor Choir sort of thing, but I don't know. Anyway, I did that a couple of times. I auditioned for probably what is Georgia State's most prestigious mass choir concert called All-State, and I'm pretty sure with that one, every state has something like that, or maybe they're all called All-State. Again, other stuff that, you know, that stuff didn't matter as much, like the semantics, but I became the only male in my school that was accepted in the year that I actually went up. Sadly, I wasn't able to actually perform because my sister's wedding was that same weekend, so prioritized, or, you know, priorities, you know, family priorities. But either way, I got accepted, and I was the only male, which was amazing. I won many awards as part of choir competitions and as a solo performer. I performed at Disney World for the Candlelight Processional during Christmas at Epcot. It was during a show that was narrated by Gina Davis from Thelma and Louise, which was really awesome, and fucking hell, she's really tall. As well as a couple of performances in Washington, D.C., and I became, from my understanding, very well known for my singing voice. I had met people in other schools in my county, and even other counties in the state, who had heard of me from friends, and I have no idea why. It was a strange time to be alive, but a really great one. It was one of those things where, what is it, you're a nerd and you're not cool at all, but you're somehow popular because people know about your abilities, and it still boggled my mind. Just hearing random people say, like, hey, I know you. I'm like, no, you don't. You don't know me. But anyway, to get to my point, performing and singing is something that brings me joy, and for a while after I went through basic, so there was a bit where when I was in basic, every once in a while when we were doing chores, I would sing and everybody would get really hyped. And even when I went through my tech training, there was a karaoke bar on the base, so I'd go there every single weekend. I even got to the point where sometimes I would be like an acting DJ, and I would also help the DJ set up equipment beforehand, because I was going every single weekend, and whenever I got the chance, I was showing up every single night. And there was a point where right around that point, I couldn't sing anymore. I had been constantly singing songs from Jersey Boys, the Broadway musical, and I almost destroyed my voice. So for a while, I didn't sing or perform because, like, other than like low monotone, not necessarily on pitch singing, I could do, but if I was trying to hit some things on pitch, because I'm a tenor, I'm a natural tenor, and I like singing high notes and everything, I couldn't do it. It actually hurt, so, you know, I didn't perform for at least a couple of years. But after a couple of years of living in Spokane, Washington, I had found a couple of bars where I could just go in and do karaoke every once in a while. And I would use that to de-stress from all the issues that I was going through. And, well, now that I'm over in Korea, a stranger in a strange land without my wife or my cats or any people that I knew back in Washington, I've come to rely on going out to karaoke more. Only the scene is very different here. Instead of having a bar where I could go and just perform in front of many others as they did the same, I discovered what is called a noraebang, which is probably something that most of you guys don't know about, but it's just a karaoke room. I would pay by the hour and be given a room that was only for myself, or if I came in with a group, and I would be able to choose from a very large list of songs that's preloaded into a system, and I would be able to sing my heart out in those times. My average time that I stay there is, each night is like maybe 2 hours or so. And naturally I would show you guys what it looks like, but you know, I'm not sure if it would be rude or not to actually walk through the business and record something, you know, something separate to show off what the place looks like, so I'm not going to be doing that. But anyway, my point is, I will be coming out shortly with a video of me performing a karaoke ballad, and I want to do it mainly because it gives you guys an idea of just some of the things I do over here as well. If I'm being honest, I love the actor performing so much. I do kind of want to show off a little, and plus I think you guys will realize I don't really do that much over here. I'm not really a people person, and I'm trying to branch out a bit, but it's still not working. I'm still doing my best, but but anyway, I hope you guys enjoy listening along, and I hope that the sound quality is good, because the system I use in the Noribong is an interface where I can adjust the mic volume and the echo level and the music volume, and I try to adjust for every song, but it's always hard to tell how much is coming through the camera. I've started doing it where, like, just to see, I can play it by ear now, but sometimes when I start off, I need to have my phone in front of me, like, do a small recording, play the song, and then see, like, okay, is the music too high? Is the echo a little too off? What am I doing wrong? What am I doing right? Like, that kind of thing. But anyway, look forward to seeing those. I'm thinking that I'm gonna put them out around the same time that it releases. What is it? In just a little bit, actually. So anyway, sorry, I had a brain fart. I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you guys once again for being with me. I am going to go ahead and, during my, like, IRL right now, when this video is recorded, I told you I suck at improv, but I'm gonna start preparing the first song. And again, I hope you guys like it, and thanks once again for being with me for this entire experience, and keep on being awesome.